In the last two videos, I tried to build my first Epic Warpath army lists and failed a little bit with this and then fixed my problem. And today I will have a look how this list nun looks in miniatures. And so we can see how this looks on the battlefield later. With this said, welcome back. Unless you are new, then welcome. Before I continue here with the topic of the video, I have a question for you. What do you want to see about Epic Warpath and in general the games from Mantic here on the channel? Because as I have already mentioned in the videos before, I started this channel because I'm very interested in Epic Warpath by Mantic Games. So all my content is about this game and I will continue. But I'm very interested what you want to see here on the channel. It is for me interesting to show my progress on the game when I build up here my first army and then continue later with the Asterians. But it brings no benefit to anybody if you are not interested in this kind of content. So I will ask you to feel free to go down in the comments and let me know what you want to see here on the channel in the future. With this said from my side, now let us have a look on the actual 1000 point army list I have built and I have created in the last video. As we have seen in the last video, or in the last two videos, I struggled a little bit about to build the first army lists in Epic Warpath. But in the end, in the last video, we had our first Forge Fathers 1000 points list. And here now you can see how this looks like in miniatures. And also I have said in the last video, I think the list itself is very interesting, kind of good, because we have all different kinds of things in the army. We have here infantry units on foot. We have our HQ, then what we need for the legal list. So these both units or these three units build up our core, what we need to have a legal formation, a legal company, how it is called here in Epic Warpath. And then I tried to add different unit types to give our first 1000 point a little bit more flavor. And unlike other games we have where you can play also this kind of dwarven-like armies, I think in specific here in Epic Warpath and also in Firefight, what I also will cover later here on the channel. If you are interested in it, especially then let me know. But what I think here is this kind of dwarven-like army here, like the Forge Fathers, are more a close combat army and not so much a shooting army as we have in other games, fantasy games with these dwarven-like armies. So let me also know what you think about this topic. Do you agree with me, or do you think this is the same in the other games? This is more a shooting army. And with this in mind, my idea was to go or to start out with the Huskal as our HQ, what we need here, and then add one unit here of the Steel Warriors to hold objectives on the battlefield field for us. And as the second minimum unit we need, I took the Forge Guard here, the heavy unit with more armor and also for close combat to move forward and support us in close combat, because we have not so much points to also give them transports. With this said, I took the Togarim unit here, 6 bases, 1 unit for our main or faster close combat part and gave them the transport to bring them forward. The problem here is now, what I already have mentioned in the last video, we don't have a transport now for our HQ unit. Is this a problem? We will see in one of our first games in the future. And to round this first army up, I added some tanks to give us some fire support here with the Sternhammer. So we have a little bit of long range shooting here in the army to support when the rest of our army moves forward and engage the enemy into close combat. And then we had at the end some points left, and what we have already seen in the last video here, most of the units are too expensive to add it in this situation to fill up the 1000 point army list. But what we came up at the end was to add 1 unit of 3 halter half tracks here on the back on the right side for a little bit more shooting support. And so we have our first army list built, 1000 points, as we can see. And what I think here is this is a very good start, get into Epic Warpath, because as we can see, we have a lot of different unit types, different units itself, with different concepts they support or what they can do on the battlefield. And so we can try out how we like the game, how the different rules will work on the battlefield when we play really a game. And so I think for the start, this is a very good army list for beginners, obviously. So what do you think firstly about this type of list or my list idea? And now I think I will start with painting because, or as you can see, they are already primed, and I have started here with the Steel Warrior unit. They are already painted, very quick and easy for this 10mm epic scale, very good. And I think this 1000 point list will be very quickly painted fully after this. And in the next couple of weeks, I think I will start with the Asterians and also build up the first 1000 point list, and will also document this process here on the channel. The second last question I have here now for you is, what should I do with the bases? As we can see, the Steel Warriors are painted, but the bases are not finished. I think some kind of a sand base, maybe a little bit beachy sand, lighter sand, or maybe a little bit more in a brownish area. But let me know what you think about this idea. I think it could be with the yellow-orange here on the units with the blue-gray, be a very good combination how we can do the bases, or how I can do the bases here for this army. And another question, my last question for today, are you interested in some kind of apps for the game, not specifically for this game, so or more in general for tabletop miniatures games? Because I work in software development, now a little bit more in the area of cybersecurity, but what I will do is to build some projects for myself, so mobile apps, Android, iOS, but I have no idea what I can do for a project. So I thought maybe some guys here are interested in or have ideas for some apps we can need for our hobby. I thought firstly about a community app where you can go in touch with other people and also manage your club, maybe later tournaments and so on. But I am not sure if this is from any interest here for the game or for the hobby. But please let me know if you are interested in this kind of app, or what your idea maybe is, what you need for the hobby, what app do you need, or what app you want. Please let me know about this. And if you're interested in general here on this content forum for Epic Warpath and Mantic Games, so like I've said, in the future we will also continue with Firefight and Kings of War, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel and follow here what I will bring up on topics in the future.